Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. It's our last video from our June 4th primaries. It's already 10 days since those set of primaries. We are going to be finishing those up with the South Dakota at-large primary. Really, ideally, there's nothing really to cover. But I thought it'd be funny and fun to cover, seeing that we have a clear winner and a clear loser in this election. We can officially declare that Johnson will be winning the election, even though I think Dusty Johnson will probably get reelected. But we obviously know for fact that Johnson's going to lose the election. But which Johnson? Because we got two Johnsons. The Democrats and the Republicans both nominated a Johnson. So this election is the election of the Johnsons. So if your last name is Johnson, this is specifically an election regarding you. I mean, we have too many Johnsons. We have our House Speaker. His last name's Johnson. I'm like, all right, how many Johnsons are even in the House of Representatives? So how many U.S. congressmen are named Johnson? All right. I know we have two presidents that are called Johnson, members of U.S. Congress. Yes, I specifically want Johnson. Okay, I guess it's not really. It was just a stream of curiosity, but we definitely have too many Johnsons in Congress here. But yes, even so we have two Johnsons in this election. So there's nothing really to talk about in this video other than the Democrats nominated Sheryl Johnson by 100%. She is unopposed in the Democratic Party. She will be facing off the incumbent, Dusty Johnson, in this said election. So I think, yes, if you're from South Dakota, you gotta let us know how that election's going, because you're gonna see a lot of signs with Johnson, but people are gonna go, which Johnson? If you go and ask your neighbor, hey, well, who are you voting for? I'm voting for Johnson. Which Johnson? There are two Johnsons. You would have realistically assumed that this so-and-so must be going for Dusty Johnson because he's the incumbent. He's well-known, way more well-known than Sheryl Johnson. So you'd assume he was talking about Dusty Johnson. But you will have to use their first names instead of their last names. Dusty versus Sheryl Johnson. So we're going to go ahead and kind of take a deeper look at that at-large election, meaning, yes, South Dakota. I, in my opinion, prefer at-large districts because they're better to cover, and they're more interesting compared to normal House of Representatives elections. But then again, everyone's different. So Dusty Johnson, 100% more popular than Sheryl Johnson. Sheryl Johnson, her background, she's a retired education assistant. All right. A retired education assistant could be anyone. Anyone. I mean, I don't think she's qualified at all. No offense, Sheryl, but you're a retired education assistant. When you go to school, there are education assistants everywhere. All right? From kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, there are education assistants. And I can guarantee you, we have a lot of people that are retired education assistants. So how does that qualify you to become a U.S. Congresswoman? I mean, Sheryl Johnson wants to be serving politics. I have no problem with that, but she needs to start at the bottom of the ladder, just like Angela Alpha Brooks, who is running against the very popular Larry Hogan. And there are a lot of people like Red Eagle Politics that think also Brooks gonna win because Maryland's a blue state. Yada 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 yada. Even though we have totally forgot about Larry Hogan's record as governor, his electoral history. He's a very, very strong candidate. He has, and we also fail to recognize Angela also Brooks and where she's coming from. She's a county executive. At least she is serving in office, a public office, compared to Sheryl Johnson, who hasn't served in any other office. Like maybe her office, I don't know, maybe the front desk office at her local middle school. I don't know. That's pretty much the only office she probably served in. But yeah, she's not gonna win, I'm telling you. But yeah, Sheryl Johnson. But the thing is, yes, you start on the bottom, and usually when you start working your way, you start in your city, and it could be any city. It could be your local town. Your town could have like 300 people you can serve on the council. That's usually how politicians start. Then they work themselves up to county council. And then finally, they go off from county council to state senate or state representative or state legislator. After they move from state legislator, they do U.S. House of Representatives. That's more preferable. U.S. Senate's a little too big to be running as a county guy. But your local representative or your legislator, then you branch off to governor or senator. And if you want to go all in a president, go ahead. But that's a long way, but that's how politicians, how we have successful politicians today. They climb the ladder. Okay? Sheryl Johnson's jumping on a trampoline. She's trying to get on top of the roof. That can lead, of course, to a lot of damage. Don't imagine that. So keep that in mind. So yes, we have Sheryl Johnson. Who is Dusty Johnson anyway? Dusty Johnson, as you know, is the current U.S. representative from South Dakota. He, of course, is a pretty strong candidate. He won a landslide in 2022. Then again, winning every single county except the 2 Native American counties of Agla Lakota and Todd. This is Todd County, I want to believe. Those 2 counties are strong Native American counties. They're rural and they can't not be carried. I mean, North Dakota is more flexible, but apparently, yeah, Colin DePro, who was the Libertarian nominee, carried those 2 Native American counties. There. So, yes, that's Dusty Johnson. And Dusty Johnson apparently was challenged in the primary. You'd think, oh, he's definitely going down. Well, of course, he won the primaries and not facing an actual Democratic primary with Ryan Ryder, the only Democrat running and the potential nominee, dropping out after past tweets of his were exposed, which subject matter, including Ryder, fantasizing about killing the Johnsons' family. Oh, yeah, you're done, buddy. So, yeah, and some other really, very dark and, yeah, if you're a Democrat and you want to go up for this Ryan Ryder guy who has had fantasizing of murdering politicians, then you're crazy. And you're still going to go for him because he has the letter D by your name? You're crazy. You're crazy. Get help. Go sit down. We need to study you. We need to study your logic. Sit down on the couch and explain to us why you want to go for this Ryan Ryder joke. And I'm glad he dropped out because and he's a lawyer? Are you kidding? So, yeah, and he has done some inappropriate stuff with Kristi Noem. Okay. All that is exposed. So, yeah, he dropped out, so that was good news for Colin Dupperall. All the Democrats went and joined the Libertarians in this said election. But yes, yeah, you'll see Dusty Johnson also defeated a libertarian, Randy Lawlin, in 2020 with 81% of the popular vote. And he's getting high numbers because he's running against a third party. If this was a Democrat, he wouldn't be doing so good. Realistically, he would probably get, I hope he gets 70, like upper 60%. But I would say he did really good if he would get, but yeah, if he's running against a libertarian, expect it to look like this. There's no way libertarian's going to pick up competitive counties because then again, Libertarian Party, low functioning political party. It's a third party, minor political party. They only can spend so much money, and the Republican incumbent is going to enjoy a lot of lead in polls and fundraising. Yeah, so this election will be the very first election since 2018 where Dusty Johnson will be taking down a Democrat. Hopefully, it looks like the Democrat also. No candidate was able to gather enough signatures to qualify for the Democratic primary, according to the state party chairman, Randy Sealer. Democratic canvassing efforts were hampered by the coronavirus outbreak. So yeah, basically, yes. Hopefully the Democrat, or we want the Democrat to drop out, right? We want the Democrat to drop out because we know Dusty's going to win, but we'll see. But then again, if she stays, it'll be an interesting Johnson versus Johnson brawl. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Dusty Johnson is the replacement, the successor of Kristi Noem specifically. Yeah, this is what his performance against a Democrat. Realistically, I'd expect him to carry this county, but it could look like this. But we are going to see in November. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.